Hello. Hi guys. We are live now. Yeah, I was not saying anybody's watching. I'm just saying we're live.
Okay, we're gonna give it a second to try to see if the chat rolls in. See what's up. Uh, we have a disconfigured background today. We're missing a picture.
I'm missing pictures because they got sold.
It's Mojo Jojo. Actually, I remember exactly what was right there. That was
Yeah,
Mojo
Mojo
Jojo.
Jojo.
Mojo Jojo got sold, man.
Now he has a new owner. No, move. Don't come by me. Do not come by me. We are not friends. No one cares. Go find a new life. Move. 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 Gosh.
I love you, booby. I love you, girl. It's okay.
No. No. No.
You can't come on the couch, but I love you. Okay. Actually looking at you.
No one cares. Still don't care. No.
I love you. Okay. Good girl. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Yeah, that's my baby. It's a good girl. Okay. It's okay. Okay. It's okay. All right. It's fine.
Yeah, no.
Okay. But you gotta go sit down somewhere else. You can't come sit up here with us.
Yeah, you gotta go find a life, get a job.
I know you want to come sit up here with us, but you can't. Okay.
Yeah, you can't come sit next to me. At all. You need a whole shower and all that.
See, I'm getting mine tomorrow. Okay. Good girl. Okay, go. Go lay down somewhere. No. Go.
No.
Go.
You can live over there. That's fine by me. Don't be trying to live by me. Walking slow. That don't change it.
I knew you wasn't going in there. You so funny.
No.
No. Go lay down.
Yeah, man. We not friends, bro.
Go lay down somewhere.
What's up? Oh, thank you. The dog is cute. She's a menace. You can borrow her anytime. You know how they talk about like oh, do you have baby fever? I guess you have dog fever. You can get the dog because I don't want the dog.
Oh my goodness. I love my dogs.
That's what we all see.
Swing for the fences, Q Dog. Appreciate it. Dark Angel, hi. What's up, Dark Angel? Mini God Gamer Doggo. What happening, bro? Bread, hi. What's up, my nigga? What's happening? So what's up, everybody? This is the OD podcast, and we are back for another episode. We're trying to go live more often, more frequent. I know you guys are waiting for us. Sorry.
Yeah, guys, I know we just been like life and
I'm
doing
sorry.
all the stuff
We're gonna do it though. We're gonna do it. I'm Wavy.
I'm Max.
Yes, and this is the OD podcast, and we're here to provide a positive podcast on several different points and opinions, funny and fun, and just always bringing the energy, giving you guys dope stuff every single night we go live. Basically, not every night we go live, but every time we go live, I should say.
Hey, Alex Dos Santos. Good evening. Send greetings here.
He said, "I'm fine. Really, no need for concern." I never said I was concerned, but okay.
He said he asked how you do it. You asked how y'all doing. Hope you guys doing good.
Oh, okay, all right.
Gosh, she's so rude, man.
I mean,
so
I was
rude.
just saying that.
He was like, I didn't ask you how you doing. I didn't ask you if you was okay.
Alex says, "Good evening. Sending a greeting here
From Brazil.
Well, he said to Brazil.
Send hey.
But
I need water.
Yeah. What's up, Brazil? Shit, what happening? You know, BBLs, baby. You know, Brazilian butlers, bitch. But yeah, this is the OD podcast. We back with another one, man. Name a car for an edit. Why would I? CJ car edits. Name a car. Ferrari, bitch. I don't know.
Oh, wait. A car for edit.
What the fuck? What does that even mean?
Maybe like like when you play those games, the driving games, you can actually edit your car. Aston Martin.
Cabu, Sean Kelly say hi. What's up, Sean? He say bet. Okay, bro. If that satisfied you, then okay. Um, yeah. So we're back with another episode. We're just gonna dive into random shit we talk about. You know what it is. You know, it's funny. I was talking to a dude in the barbershop today. I was getting my haircut. He was like, "Yeah, me and my friend starting a podcast." Brr, brr. I was like, "Oh, for real?" And he's just talking all he wanted to talk. And I was like, "Yeah, I already got my podcast." He's like, "You got a podcast?" I was like, "Yeah, bro." It's funny to me because like sometimes you can talk about these things to people and you think that they don't like do, like you're just thinking you're talking about something you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, "Yeah, bro, I already got a podcast." He was like, "Oh yeah." And then I started talking to him about monetization and how to get monetized on YouTube. And he was like, "Oh, you really got a podcast?" I was like, "Yeah, nigga, it is a joke."
I mean, it's such a long process,
Yeah.
But I mean, we just have to like keep doing it.
But it was just funny having a conversation with Dog, and yeah, he was super into it, and he kind of reminded me of myself a little bit because he was like, "Yeah, I'm starting a podcast with my friend." He was like, "But I'm the energy, I'm the personality. They gonna laugh at me." He's like, I'm the one who's gonna tell them the jokes." Like, I was like, "Yeah, bro, I get where you're coming from."
Mm-hmm.
But he just was funny. And he actually has that personality. I do not doubt him 1,000%. Like, he's pretty funny. You know what I mean? But yeah, I had a conversation with somebody today. So, do you want to talk about how trash NFTs are first, or what you want to talk? What you want to dive into first?
Well, we can talk about these NFTs. So, what's your argument? What am I debating?
I'm just saying that, like, I told you so. That's all I'm saying.
Told me. So what? You need full
I told
sentences.
you the NFTs wasn't gonna work. That shit was not gonna work.
Okay, so now this is where I say that anything that people want to put meaning to, it will become meaningful. So if they wanted NFTs to be meaningful and people actually cared about it, then it would become meaningful. So I really don't agree with you because I think there's so many dumb shit in the world that is really like costing money. But like I'll give you an example. Suits, the cuffs that you put on your suits, right? You can buy that shit for like 500 thousands of dollars, but guess what?
Same thing for earrings.
Not saying earrings is a little bit different. That's jewelry. What is that shit called? Do you even know what it's called?
It's called a cuff. You named it correctly.
It's not just called a cuff.
Something like the cuffs you put in the suit.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck it's called, but I know somewhere in the world it's called a cuff.
At the end of the day, it's about like there's somebody who cares about cuffs more than you do. So
somebody care about earrings more than you do,
right? And there's somebody who care more about NFTs than we do.
No, NFTs are basically non-existent anymore.
I say again, things have meaning if you want it to have meaning,
baby. So if things have meaning because we wanted to have meaning, then everybody has pretty much declared that shit has no meaning.
You see, so this is why I also disagree with you because there's a bunch of like meme coins, like NFTs have more value when it comes to like selling art and stuff. But then you look at right now, meme coins have value, but probably in the next like few years, meme coins will not have any value just because it's again just what's talked about. What's
Baby,
like
NFTs did not work. Them shits was selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars at one point, and that now they're, you know how much money they said Justin Bieber lost off his NFT? You want to Google that?
No, why would I? If you want to Google it and talk to me about it,
I
will.
Ahead. I'm saying like literally.
But don't ask me to Google something I don't want to.
NFTs that were worth millions of dollars are worth nothing now. Like nothing.
And I know it's not that I don't understand that things have lost value. Just I believe that there's always going to be a group of people who know nothing about nothing, and then they come in and they're like, oh, this is cool, or this is it, or a new generation, or certain things. So even though it's like you could say pronounced dead at this point in time for NFTs, like that doesn't mean that in the future, it doesn't mean that certain things cannot find value again. So I just have a different perspective on you because I feel as though these are things that like value is brought because of the people, not because there is no value. Because meme coins have no value, but the only reason why meme coins even have value is because of the people.
Okay, so Justin Bieber bought a NFT for $1.3 million, and is literally worth nothing now.
So
He
and
wasted $1 million.
yeah, and I totally get that. So so this is what I would say. So when they did NFTs, they even started like selling land, like Monopoly World.
Mm-hmm.
They literally had New York City in NFTs, and you can buy like.
They do that in Minecraft, except Minecraft it's still relevant. The NFT shit fell off.
But Minecraft is relevant because kids make it relevant. People make it
There are adults who
relevant.
play Minecraft, but yeah, like
People just make
yeah,
it
they made it
relevant.
relevant. That's what I'm. That's
Okay,
my point. No one that fucking NFT shit was pointless.
but you see, NFTs don't only start with like it could even do it for art too. So this is where like I just have a different opinion
What is
on
your
it.
different opinion?
My opinion is like when it comes to like selling art, like if I made, let's just say this piece right here, this beep piece, that's a piece, right? Let's just say that was my beep
Mm-hmm.
and I made beep. When I sell the digital version of it, it will cost more because they will put in like a
I
stamp on it
understand the artist's
stating
perspective on it because you're making money, but
because it's a
yes,
collectible.
as an artist perspective, you're making money. But I'm talking about the actual worth of NFTs now. They are worthless and they are just non-existent anymore.
Well, then again, this is where I would say NFTs is not only about the one thing that you're talking about or the one aspect of it. When you talk about the collectible versions for the art part of it, do you still feel as though NFTs is just not important in art and the collectible version
Yeah,
of
I think
it?
it's non important in art.
Okay, well that's your opinion and I'm really happy you feel that
I
way.
think artists can still continue to make art without making it digital and it will still be valuable art.
Um
Like the point that they tried to turn art into like a digital thing literally made it worthless.
okay
It's
now
not.
so it's not about turning art into digital, it's about making sure like so the whole purpose of an NFT
No one
was
really cares because it's worthless.
so okay, so then let's move on to the next topic. I don't care.
No, I just that
I
was a
don't
joke.
care.
That was a joke. That wasn't being serious. But still, like what you're about to say
Well,
is
I
still
mean, then let me
worthless.
say what I have to
Go
say,
ahead.
and then like
That was.
rebuttal after.
Go ahead.
So, for instance, the whole purpose of an NFT when it comes to like an art collectible piece would be so that you know this is the original piece.
How does the NFC tell you that?
Because it kind of like just has a code in it. So like when you pull up a photo on the internet, you know how right now in schools, if you write a paper, it could tell you if you copyrighted and you use ChatGPT and all that shit, you use AI to create shit. Like this thing will tell you this piece was created by such and such. This is the value for this artist, and that's what it's made. So it's digital art.
I don't think people care about that. You trying to talk about like what some coder cares about the code on this art? Like somebody's
No,
no
it's
one in
not.
the
It's not.
world cares about this code.
Hey, and this is why I started off with saying when you talked about NFTs,
They're
they're just
worthless.
worthless.
They are.
I said that there are many things in this world that are worthless and people give it value.
But no one's giving it value.
You feel the way that you feel.
I don't feel any type of way. It's just you could go like just look it up. It's dead. That shit is dead.
Again, there are many different like sectors for NFTs.
So wait, are you trying to argue right now that NFTs aren't dead? They're gonna make a comeback.
I'm not saying NFTs aren't dead, nor am I saying NFTs are alive. I'm just saying when it comes to collectible version, when it comes to like art, I understand the purpose of NFTs and therefore it's
So let me ask you
doable.
something. You're a human, right?
I am.
Do you see more value in something that you can collect on your computer or something you can collect physically?
I mean, to be honest, I'd see both. Can I give you another comeback to what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on Meta, on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
they had the blue check when you have to gain your blue check, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden they started to say pay to get your blue check, right? And
Mm-hmm.
people was paying to get their blue check, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody cares about some digital piece of shit check. Somebody had enough money
Well,
in their
that
life that they
check can
wanted to.
get you a lot,
Hey, so well,
especially for a
somebody
dude.
again, like I don't really care about your argument about the reasoning why the blue check gets you money or
Yeah, but
why
there's
it
a
gets you
difference.
whatever it
That blue check
gets.
gets you more than this piece of thing you paid for to just sit on your computer.
All right, well, there are a lot of like rich people who like having things because they can say they have it, and there are like a lot of people
Not
who
no
like
more.
saying,
Not no. They don't care about
I
that shit
mean,
like that.
you can feel how you want to feel. I'm just giving my point of perspective, and I'm really happy that you're sharing mine and you're sharing yours, and we're just voicing our opinions, and that's cool.
Yeah, I don't think rich people are that stupid. They only when something has value, then they will collect it. Then they will be like, okay, yeah, I'm on this. But the second that shit tanks and there's no value, you ain't somebody rich buying no fucking NFT just cause. Fuck no. You get this shit free now. I get a free NFT if I wanted to. Like, get a free one right now.
Okay, dude, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, just being honest.
Okay, cool.
But I see much more value in something you could physically have. I mean, there's probably people who have like entire rooms, like we're sitting in our little podcast room. There's probably people entire rooms where they have Pokemon cards lined up across their wall and shit. They got a Yu-Gi-Oh cards and they got they got Pokemon balls on their wall. It's a physical thing you can have.
All right, and I just gave you a non-physical.
No one wants that.
You didn't even let me. That's the thing. You just keep cutting me off and trying to tell me.
I didn't
what
say
you think
anything
I'm
else.
saying.
I just said
no one wants
that.
what? What do no one want?
NFT.
No, that is not what I'm gonna say.
Okay, well, I still said it. Okay, go continue. Stop getting so butthurt.
I'm not getting butthurt.
Well, then continue and talk.
I am talking and I'm continuing. I'm just defending when you just like cut me off and be like, oh.
I didn't cut you off like that, bro. I just said one word. Calm down.
Doesn't matter.
Come on.
So, yeah, I would honestly just say that a blue check does sometimes nothing for some people. And they paid for that blue check.
Oh, yeah.
And the way that you feel about NFTs is just not the same way that I feel about NFTs. There are different sectors of NFTs. And definitely when it comes to
no sector
land,
where that shit's valuable.
When it comes to land and stuff, yeah. But the only reason why I see like a little bit of value when it comes for collectible art pieces and shit like that is because it shows you that you have the original DN.
I'm gonna raise my hand on this part. I never said collectible art isn't valuable. I said that NFT digital collective art shit ain't valuable. No one gives a fuck.
Okay, and this is again where I just say that I do not agree with you. And since we don't agree, it's okay to disagree because we're not going to agree.
It's 1000% fine to disagree. That's the whole point of the podcast.
I'm giving you my opinion on it, and then you're telling me like you don't give a fuck. Okay, well I didn't ask you to give a fuck.
I'm saying most people in general don't like. I mean,
it's basically an NFT when it comes to art is something that cannot be copied, and that is the reason why. For art collectible, it's a lot different, and I brought it up when you talk about like NFTs. I don't know like what part or sector for you that you're thinking about. That's why I even brought up meme coins. Like meme coins are not gonna be here in like 5-6 years. There's gonna be something else, something that people are attracted to. But at the end of the day, like you have people who spend money on Dogecoin.
Okay, I respect that.
That's what I'm saying. Meme coin.
What I'm saying is, I don't think in
what value does that bring?
I don't think in any point of time, anytime in the future, 20, 30, 100 years, I don't think at any time online art is going to be popular. Art is something you can hold in your hand. It's never going to be popular.
So as a, and I didn't want to like make it sound condescending, but as in like a non-artist who don't even like value anything.
I don't got to be an artist. I could be a lover of art and know that when I get art, I want to be able to physically have it.
So this is where I'll just say again, like as a non-artist, like you just don't get it.
Get what?
I mean, if you let me speak, and don't be like, "Oh my God, what?"
I'm trying to figure out. Get what?
Then let me just speak. Like, if you don't want to wait to hear, then let's move on to another topic that you have a little more
I should be able to respond. Stop being so butthurt. Do you not want to talk to somebody? You want to talk to the wall?
I'm talking to you.
Okay, and I can have my reaction.
But you're not letting me talk. You're literally.
How? I didn't continue to talk and cut you off. I said, what? That's all I did. Yeah, now continue to talk.
Don't talk to me like that. You don't have to talk.
No, I can talk.
Then I don't want to talk about it. Find something to talk about.
All right, then what you want to talk about?
Whatever you want.
Whatever. Anyways, NFTs are dead. They're not coming back. No one cares about them. If you want art, you're going to buy some type of physical art to put on your wall. You're not going to be like, oh yeah, let me just collect art on my computer. No one wants to do that. It's digital. What am I going to do with that? You can't do anything with digital art. It just doesn't make sense to me. And it never made sense from the get-go. That was the point where I was like, oh, I want to talk about this. And I was like, yeah, I was right the whole time. I remember we were talking about this NFT shit a long time ago. and you were all like, "Oh, NFTs are gonna be this and that and this and that," and I was like, "What is an NFT?" I remember I was asking you, I was like, "What is an NFT?" And you're like, you can sell art like digitally, and I was like, "Yeah, that's not gonna work. Why the fuck would anybody do that? Doesn't make any sense. Why would you? What are you gonna do? Put it in the background of your computer? Like you're gonna like turn the background or your lock screen to the NFT? Makes absolutely no sense. What are you gonna do? Print it? You're gonna print it and hang it on the wall? Like what the fuck? That I honestly, in my opinion, I think that's an insult to actual artists. If you got to ask me, I think that's a complete insult to actual artists. The stroke of the paintbrush, the ability to like the skill of painting, like, and I know it's a skill because I remember when you started doing your little art walk shit. I was like, oh yeah, I'll help you paint. Nigga, I did one painting and was like, yeah, I don't got that shit. Like I can't do it the way you do it. Like it's a skill. How in the hell you just gonna diminish all of the actual skill of painting and be like, yeah, I can do this shit with AI on a computer. Somebody can just do that shit with AI on a computer? How is that? How is that not demeaning the skill of being an artist? I don't understand. We can end the podcast if you're not going to talk, honestly.
I don't have anything to say upon this because when I try
Well,
to
then I
like,
asked you what else you want to talk about. You said nothing. What you going to do? Fucking sit here and be quiet?
I'm looking for something.
All right,
Why
well
the
then,
fuck are you
well then,
cursing me?
well
I'm
then
not
come.
fucking cursing
Well
you,
then
right?
come with it. I'm just trying to say, like,
well, I mean, if you want to talk, like, talk about.
I
your
am
NFTs.
talking.
Okay,
I am
I'm not
talking.
stopping you from talking.
Okay, thank
Don't
you.
be mad that I'm not just
I
jumping
am
in to say
not
nothing
mad.
because you're not agreeing.
I'm not mad at
You
all.
are. You were fucking cursing me. I didn't fucking
Bro,
curse you.
I
You
can
fucking
curse
cursed me.
all. Nigga,
Okay,
who
so
the
I'm
fuck? I
fucking
curse
cursing
all
too.
fucking day.
Okay, so then there's nothing wrong
Literally,
with it.
I'm a comedian. I
Don't
get on
be
stage
mad.
and I cuss. I go to
Don't
work.
be
I
mad.
cuss.
Like, why are you just being so? You don't
No,
even
you're
really
the one
realize
being
you're being
you're the one saying,
offensive.
"Well, don't cuss at me.
No,
Why are you
yeah,
talking like
because
that?
when
I don't
I
want
say
to
this,
talk about this."
you're so
Next topic.
extra.
Next topic. No,
Flossy.
you're extra. Trust me,
Floor.
you're the one who's extra. It's not me.
Whatever.
Yeah, because I didn't do anything extra.
Yeah, sure, extra.
In what way?
Talk about you.
Exactly. You don't want to talk about anything. So what are we talking about? You want to find some Trump shit? Okay. How long are you gonna read that shit? You just gonna read the whole article? Go ahead.
I mean, if I want to, then fine. Like, you don't want to give me the chance to like
That's
just
not
talk. True. Bro, there's literally when we do the podcast, and if you look back at it every single time when both of us are talking at the exact same time, you can't hear shit really. So if you want to give your point, feel free to give your point. But at least let me say what I have to say. But every single time I start to say something, you jump in. So therefore, you got it, bro. I want to hear what you got to say.
I agree with you. We can't talk over each other.
Well, you're talking over me.
The fact that that's not true. The fact that you could say something and I'd be like, "What? About what?" And you're like, "Stop talking over me." I said one fucking thing. Like,
no, it's not even about like the fucking talking over me one fucking thing. It's about the fact like if you want to hear what I have to say, then you need to like wait so that you could actually hear it. If you're not willing to wait, I get it.
I think reasonable discourse is literally what people listen to podcasts for. People don't listen to podcasts so that we could all be here just like no. Having a reasonable discourse, there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's also absolutely nothing wrong with actually talking and giving a tune, and then like, oh, you actually after somebody finish like actual sentence, like some sentence that a rebuttal is actually there for you to say something, but not when I don't say nothing and you just like say what, and you just like in between.
No, you said something. Why would I say what? But
hey, to you it's on. I mean, you couldn't even finish the sentence. When I'm trying to say my sentence, you're telling me no, it doesn't have any value. I didn't even say what have value. You couldn't even tell me what I was gonna say that didn't have value because you didn't even know what I was gonna say. But you know what?
Yeah, but I can still give my reaction. It's
so
like
what? Like
you have
piece of a
sentence? I think sometimes you have no like sense of entertainment. Like you want this shit, like you're like,
no, I don't want it to be straight. Like
no, that is entertainment. They do that shit on TV.
So I'm cutting you off too. So why you try to talk and tell me how you feel about
and
what
I have no problem with that.
Okay, and that's fine. And I'm gonna keep doing that. And I'm not doing anything that is like out of reach. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just having a conversation with you. And when I voice my opinion,
well, what I'm trying to explain to you is that you don't have a concept of entertainment. There are literally TV shows that make billions of dollars.
Well, we don't have no billions of dollars.
That's not the point. That's not the point. But do you want to though? Okay, thank you.
It's not
So
about
that
even wanting to
wait,
know.
no, that's
Like,
not
don't
the
say that.
what.
Like, don't be like, okay, thank you though. Like, what the fuck? Does that give you
Yeah,
$1,000 now?
no,
Do you
no.
have more money?
I'm saying thank you. You want that, so don't act like you
Ah,
don't. And what I'm saying is that there are literal television networks and TV shows that are based behind discourse, and discourse isn't always just sitting here
yeah.
quiet
You know
until
what
you
that's
get done
called?
talking.
That's called love and hip hop. That's called all the reality
Okay,
shows that people sit there to
and a
watch.
lot of people watch it.
Yeah, and this is not a reality show. This is
It's
just us having a
this is
conversation.
basically a reality show. This is just recording ourselves sitting on a fucking couch talking. This is the definition of reality.
Cool.
I don't understand why you get so upset when I decide to say something or be like, "Oh, what? I'm just trying to make it entertaining," and you just have a problem with me being me. I can't. I'm not gonna get on board with that shit. I'm going to still do it.
Bro, where, like, this is the thing about it. You always feel as though somebody has some issue with you, and now somebody needs to make you feel comfortable in your own skin. Be comfortable in your skin. Be comfortable in your own skin and let it be. As it happened, everything happened. I've literally not said shit. I'm doing what I want to do. I'm fine shit I want to talk about. So when I bring it up, it do what it like have to say. You over here just trying to like taunt me like, okay, so you're not
How
saying
am I
nothing now,
taunting?
you're not saying nothing now, you don't have anything you want to say about the NFT.
Because you
No, I do not
decided
want to say
to
anything
get
about the
quiet
NFT.
over
Okay,
nothing.
and then you know what? If that is what I choose to do, then that is great. You did not ask me a
Okay.
positive question. You
Oh,
just asked me to
oh,
say
okay.
first off,
I'm gonna
you
get on
asked
your
me the
train.
same thing
Okay.
about NFTs. You already told me NFTs were dumb shit and didn't mean nothing. And then every single time I try to say something about it, still dumb shit and don't mean nothing. So now I understand it's dumb shit and don't mean
Yes,
nothing. And I'm on
because
your
we
train, and
this
now I need to
yes,
somehow like
I
disagree with
know
this.
because
Oh
we
no.
disagree and we can continue to have a conversation disagreeing. Like,
Bro, that's
what is
not
wrong
nothing,
with that?
because nothing about that is like, nothing about it is funny. It doesn't, it's like,
What?
it's not, to me, it's not funny.
Oh,
Entertainment is not
oh
about
my
like people just
God!
arguing. Like when you arguing because you're debating about something,
Arguments are very funny.
when you're debating about something, that's a lot different to just like, you want me to like sit here and like try to argue with you about trying to give my
I don't
voice
want you to
opinion.
argue, but
So I'm not
openly
arguing.
disagree, and it's
Well,
fine.
we can't openly disagree if I can't get to say what I want to say, because you
You,
have to like, that's how I
I just
feel.
disagree.
That's how I feel. And then when I say that
I
how I
don't, I
feel,
don't see
I
it.
need to feel how you feel, and I need to get on your train. No, I'm being
Yeah,
very cordial right now. You feel how you feel, and I feel how I feel, and I'm not asking to get on my train, and I'm not asking to hop on your train. Like, you want to talk about the NFTs? Great, you talk about the NFTs. I can't say nothing about it because you already feel 100% positive of how you feel about
that's
it.
not true. You
So
could bring
there
up
is no
another topic,
point.
and I will still act the same way.
This is
And this
about
stuff.
NFTs.
No, but you're bringing up a topic. You're bringing up like something like, oh, well, you're doing this for the NFTs, and I don't want to talk about the NFTs. All right, bring up the next topic and watch me do the same fucking thing. What now?
Dude, I mean, that's dumb. If you just, all you want to do is like
What's
make
dumb?
issues out of
It's
nothing.
not an issue.
It is like, if
What's
all
an
you're
issue?
gonna
What
do,
is the issue?
if I was supposed to bring a topic up for us to talk about, and you're just gonna like knock it down and just talk shit about it and not actually have a conversation, then great. Like,
We can have a
that's
conversation, but I'm
not
still going to be the same person. So if I decide to be like, make a joke about this, or be like, what? I'm still going to do that.
okay, and I'm still being me. So whilst you be your you, I will be my me, and I'm not asking you to impose you onto me. I'm very comfortable with how you are, and I'm very
I
comfortable with being
understand,
in my
but
shell
for
if
the
I need to
quality,
be for
I
me.
understand, but for the quality of the podcast and the entertainment that people are going to digest, I just don't see how you're just gonna be like, oh, I'm not talking about that. So then, what are we talking about?
I don't talk about Trump. I don't want to. You already said, oh, you just want to read about Trump. You want to talk about Trump? Yeah, that's
All right,
what I
so since
talk
you ain't brought up
about.
nothing, yes. All right, so we can move on to another topic. She's not doing shit. Let's talk about another topic. We're going to talk about my Florida Gators finally won a third national championship in basketball. Yes, sir, indeed. We are the only college program to have three national championships in basketball and football. The only one. Okay. And we also have multiple national championships in baseball, track and field, and gymnastics as well. But we're not even gonna get into that. We're just talking about football and basketball. No one can touch us. Ohio State fucking sucks. Michigan sucks. Miami sucks. Florida State, Georgia, Alabama, they all can suck our dick. We're the best state in the fucking country. And they say everybody from Florida is crazy. We fucking are. We're crazy about winning. We win. Yes, sir. Um, That's my school rocking with them. Die hard Gator fan.
You
Um,
know what's so funny about that game? Like, I just can't believe that y'all actually won because when in the first half, it just looked like it was just like such a loss, and then they came out and then y'all was still losing, and somewhere around, I want to say probably like 9 minutes left. The team just said we're not fucking losing, and I just seen like an extra kicking effort. And to me, Florida's always that team, or at least so far since I've started watching the games, they've been that team who would let you believe through the whole first half of the game you're
that you're
gonna
gonna win.
fucking win.
Hmm.
And then somehow they come out in the second half and then they just be like, yeah, bitch, you thought you had that shit. But it was kind of scary this time because, the star player literally did not even like perform the way that he's usually performing. So it's kind of a scare because I was like, do the team have the support? But the team is made up of so many skilled players, they were able to actually take it home. And I'm gonna say my favorite player is Hawks, bro. Like
Hush.
Huss.
But
He
I
got he
wouldn't.
got all my support for that shit
I
because
wouldn't.
yeah.
I wouldn't say they won because they had so much skilled players. It's because we had a lot of veterans, people who've been there before. Remember, I showed you Walter Clayton highlights from the last year when they were when they lost.
So what does that change? How does that mean that they don't have skilled players?
I mean, we have skilled players. I'm just saying that it was the veteran and them being in that situation before, so to what helped them win because they were. I mean, we were down in every game in the tournament and came back. And I know you said it seemed like that was a strategy, but I'm saying like that helped us in the championship. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man, I don't think that really like helped in the championship. I seen where they didn't give up.
oh, now you just sound like you don't play sports.
Okay, well let me sound like I don't play sports because let's
No, it
let's be
definitely helps you in
real.
the championship.
Okay, so do I not play sports? Do I play sports?
No.
Okay, so when I say my statement, does it seem crazy that I'm saying what I'm saying? What you telling me? You do? I
Well,
look like I don't
well,
play
uh, well,
sports?
I said you just sound like you don't play sports.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that if you play sports and you are in a situation, do you know how easy it is to get scared in a situation where like literally is a million people watching you, and you're like, this is the first time I've ever been in this situation. You will be scared. But if you've been in that situation 10 times plus, guess what? Calm. I got this.
I mean, all right. So I don't play sports, but I play life, and in life, like I'll come up in certain situations where I either have to fall on my face or I run. And most of the times when I'm in those particular situations, I end up running. Not because I want to run, but because I don't want to fall on my face. And for some reason, that gives me the traction to like keep going because I'm going to push through that little bit. I would say this being the last game, this being the championship game, means a lot more, means like that extra push, like all the effort that you can give because you work all year just for that. Let it have been, like 4 or 5 games prior, it might have been a different reaction or like how you seen it, but I just didn't see like the loss of faith in those boys. And I'm not saying it's not
Yes,
because they
and
didn't have effort in
I'm saying
other
it comes from
games.
experience.
Hey, I don't know what it comes from, but it came. What about that?
I'm just saying, like when you play sports, the more reps you get, you know what reps are?
Yeah, like when you lift weights in the gym, it's like a rep. Oh my god.
Yes. Okay. So the more reps you get, the better you get. It's literally, it's like damn near impossible for you to never be in that situation, and all of a sudden you there and you're like, oh, I got this. Like, no, bro, you've never been. That's like, all right, like game winning drive offenses, because I play football. Offense is driving down the field, right? Offense driving down the field, game winning drive. They throw that bitch up to your side. This is the first time this ever happened to you. The odds are you probably gonna fuck that situation up.
Hey,
I'm just saying, like that's the odd.
to each his own. I just feel as though if you want it and you're in a position to try to get it, you could possibly get it.
Well, the number one pick in the NBA draft is going to be Cooper Flag for Duke, and he was in that situation, choked, lost. You know why? Never been in that situation before.
Actually, I say this is why I disagree with you. I just felt as though they thought that they were gonna win, and they didn't think that.
I don't think that's why.
th- Look, they ate them, and I was kind of scared when I seen how they ate them. I was like, "Yo, we gotta be scared for that team because they ate, wiped the
Okay,
plate." and watch that
Okay.
shit.
And that same team that ate them was up on us. And we didn't come back just because we had the will. We came back because we were experienced and have done that before.
I don't think it's about the experience and the will and the done that before. I believe what it do have a part to play in a person who ran a mile, the first mile in 3 minutes. They didn't think that they could do it, and then once it was done, it was just like, oh, everybody could do it. So they knew that they've been down in previous games before, so therefore it's easy for
Can I
me
give
to
you an
do
example
this.
about the example you just brought up? Did you know that man had run that time in his own in private time several times? So
What's your point?
he's already experienced. He's already ran a mile that fast. He just has never done it at an event, an official event.
Um, Well, you see, that don't mean nothing to me because prior to him doing it, everybody else had the opportunity to run and do all those things and try it on their own
Well,
time and do all of it and never decide to go
what I'm trying to
be the
say
first.
is with sports, a lot of times the more reps you get, the repetition with what you do is what helps you succeed. You can, like it's not.
I do get repetition helps you succeed, but repetition when it comes to like you shooting the ball, you running fast, you doing passes, not oh well we're down 16 points and now I got the repetition of I've been down 16 points so I know I can
I
come
know
up
I can come
16,
back.
15.
That is a big
That's
difference.
not a repetition. That's like
How is that not a repetition?
to me that's not repetition. Maybe to you that's repetition and I get that, but that is not repetition to me. That's I have faith and I know what to do. I've been down before. It don't
Yeah,
have to
but
be that
what do
down.
you think gives you more faith? Knowing you've done it before or feeling like I've never done this before, I'm scared.
Again, you're telling me the exact same thing I just told you, but you're now making it into a question. I literally said those
What?
words, and all you do is asking me in a question. So I don't know, like, what is confusing about it. But you being down 16 points is not like, oh, because you've been down 16 points before, is that repetition that I can do this. No, that's you having faith and knowing that you can do it. And that's just how I view it. And you may view it differently being a sports player, then that's great. I don't have an issue with you having your own opinion. I don't feel that way. I don't think like you being down give you the repetition to win. I think you being down gives you the ability to know, hey, I've been down before and I made a comeback, so I can do it again. It's not about, oh, I've been down so many times and this repetition of me being down allows me to know I
It's
can
not
do it.
about you being down so many times. If you've
Isn't that
never,
repetition? What is
you
repetition?
could literally have only done it 2 times before. That's this is a rep. This is a
Well, I'm just asking if we're trying to use these definitions that you're so into and like having
yeah. You made it
conversations
seem
where
like
it
somebody's
means
like
something.
no. The Gators have literally only trailed 4 games all year. We like. I didn't say we was losing every game. I didn't say that. I just said they've been in the position before, so they know they can do it.
Yeah, but it's not to me, that's not like repetition. Repetition in a positive way is something that comes out of that comes out of soulful desire to want to
Ain't
be
no
the
one
best or
saying they don't got
win.
soul for desire. No one's saying that. I'm saying even if you could have all desire in the world, I bet you Cooper Flag wanted to make that shot. I guarantee you when Cooper Flag went up to shoot that game winning shot, in his head, he was like, I really want to make this. But get what?
Like no offense, but there've been a lot of when I look at that game, at least for Duke losing, I do remember looking at the last 2 minutes and seeing how skillfully them boys ate for Houston. And when they ate the way that they ate, Duke did not eat that way in such a short period of time. So I understand the fear that may have hit them when they see them doing this comeback so
And what,
quickly.
okay, so what do you think could increase the fear? Or what do you think could decrease the fear? Because what I'm trying to say is that when you've been there before, you are less scared. You know you can do it.
I don't think being in an almost losing position gives you that extra boost to know that you can do it because you've been in the almost losing position before. It's just like in that moment, it's a player on player mindset thing, like whether or not you have faith in yourself, like, oh, you know, I'm good, whether you can make the shot when it actually matters. Because if he did make the shot, if Cooper made the shot when that one shot mattered, then we wouldn't be having this conversation because it would be a whole different perspective, right? Because he actually made it. So I'm not gonna be a person who talks about is it God's will that he didn't make this one shot? Did he miss
I
this
never
one
said that.
shot? I never said that you did. I'm just saying I'm not gonna say because he wasn't great or because he wasn't put in like a forceful position where he felt like he was under pressure and had to play. I think he just didn't make it. And sometimes the best players sometimes just don't make it. And it's okay. He is a great player. He just didn't make it. But I also
Can you think of an
understand.
instance where Steph Curry just didn't make that shot?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah.
When?
I'm sorry that I didn't know that this was going to be a question and I needed to know the exact game.
No, I'm saying like I cannot ever think of a shot that Steph
Okay,
Curry.
so then good for you. I've been watching games because I actually like Steph Curry.
No,
And then I'm seeing it's not the winning shot, but it's still a shot that
I've seen
goddamn
him miss a
matters.
shot, obviously, but
But
I have
this
never seen that man miss a fucking
but
end of game shot.
but this is the thing about it. You think they're not as the player trying to win, they ain't trying to miss the shot. So the fact that they even had the courage to take the shot meant that they wanted the
It
shot
says
and they were
Steph Curry blew a
trying.
3-1 series lead. Yeah, he did. I'm talking about game winning shot though. I'm not talking about entire game.
So
So
I
what
just have
up?
a different
I get
perspective on it. Like
I get what you're saying,
he
but
shot. If he didn't take the shot, you know what? If he did what Houston did, got no shot, didn't take the last final shot to even the game
well,
out.
Houston problem is they wanted to make it 3. They should have.
Well, I just said even the game out. Just take a shot, any shot, two shot, three shot,
Yeah.
any shot. You know, like they didn't take any shot. If Cooper did
Good
that,
defense, baby.
then if Cooper did that, then we could talk about oh he was scared and if he had more practice being
No,
in
I
that
don't think he. I don't think he
position.
was scared. I just don't think he had the experience to come through in that moment. I don't think he had the experience. He's only 18 years old.
Hey, I don't think the age, I would say age does not matter in this perspective because when it comes to basketball, most players spend 1 year playing high school,
No age.
college, and then like
Uh,
leave.
okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you as a
How
lifelong sports fan, age has a lot to do with it. Otherwise, somebody who's his age, as soon as they go to the NBA, they're 19, 20, they'll go right to the finals. They don't even make it to the finals until they're like 28. No one goes to the finals that young because they need experience.
I get you, and it's not about being in the finals because what I think about is those guys who decide to leave after their first year in college and then just go to the NBA, which is better than the finals. That's how I view it.
Wait, what?
The finals is being in the NBA is above college, and therefore to me that's a different
the finals
level.
is NBA. That's why I was confused. So you talking about? I don't think the NBA is better than going to March Madness. I don't think. I mean, like Final Four. You meant you were trying to say the Final Four?
Yeah, we were just talking about Cooper.
Well, yeah, you said the finals. The finals is the NBA championships.
I'm talking about what we were talking about.
Okay, so I understand. I'm just correct. I'm just I know what you're talking about. I'm just saying. So, I do not believe that. First of all, you could be in the NBA and the worst team in the NBA. Literally, no one comes watches your games. Are you going to feel like it's better than the Final Four? Fuck no. There's millions of people watching you in the stands at the Final Four, and you're on this sorry ass team missing shots. You're not going to feel like that's better than the Final Four.
Hey, to each his own, but I definitely do know before NIL deals was such a big thing, everybody was leaving college just so that they could go make actual money.
I mean, they still leaving college now because you make more money in NBA.
But they didn't have NIL deals until a very few years ago. So that makes a very big difference.
Well, I'm going to give you a perspective.
Like whether
the Florida Gators won the national championship in 2006. There was no NIL, and the entire team came back to play in 2007. And they knew they was going to make millions in the NBA. But you know what they wanted to come back and do? Go to the Final Four. The NBA, just because you go to some sorry-ass team in the first round of the draft, and now you on this sorry team and no one gives a fuck, that's not better than the Final Four. That feeling you get in that stands around those people, the only way you're gonna feel like that again is if you make it in the NBA to the finals. You can't even compare that.
Hey, I just know like
I don't know. I just feel like you can't compare.
He did the shot. He tried a shot and it didn't make. And sometimes people miss. And at least he took.
No, I'm not saying sometimes. I know sometimes people miss. I just feel like he would have had a better shot if he had more experience. Like that's just really It's just the facts. Like a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, he wouldn't have been there. Like he's winning all the Super Bowls because he's played for a long. Like he has the experience to get it. He got taught by one of the best ever. He gets it. But you don't do that from just, oh, I'm on the field. I believe in myself. Throw it up. Like, nah, that shit don't work like that. It's experience.
I mean, I think it's both ways.
Yeah,
because you would literally have somebody who have all the experience and been too scared. Trash. Yeah, too scared to take the chance.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that.
You know, like that's why I say I don't think like you talk about age. I understand age brings more experience, because you get to practice more.
I don't care about age. I just think if you get the experience, like you need reps to be good in that situation. Matter of fact, let me put it like this. The Duke coach, after they lost, admitted that in practice, he didn't run through enough in the game situations in practice for them to understand what to do at the end of the game. It's not all about you having the experience of, oh, in the game, I'm losing. Does your coach run through this enough in practice? Because you need reps at this.
Well, now you see, this is where I have such like a different perspective on it, because I understand like the coach is going to be able to coach, but he's only going to be able to coach so much.
True.
So I think like when you're on the floor, because the way the ball passes is like, where do you find the opening? And it's about, they had a break before the final play.
Yes, and they wrote the play up for Cooper Flagg to get the ball. He took the last shot.
I'm not talking about for either way. It's just it's more about like, even if he will get in the last shot, it's about who could and not who we want to do it. And in certain situations, like, you just have to see who have a better chance of getting it versus like what it's like made for.
Hold on.
You already said hold on. What the fuck are you trying to say?
Hold the fuck up. So you're telling me that I'm on the Golden State Warriors, it's the last play of the game, and we're not giving the ball to Steph?
Not if he's being guarded the way that he's being guarded. Not if there's certain things going on. Not if another player have, another chance to get in there. You see, that's the whole thing about it. We have some people, like your favorite player, LeBron James, is a very good team player, meaning that he's willing to take pay cuts so that other people on his team could actually be there too. And you have some people who will be like, nah, I want all the money and I want to have a shit ass team because we can't pay nobody because I want all the money. Now, that same kind of pay and the way he think about it is the same thing that works out in the game, and which is why his team is always pretty much decent on that part, because you have your key players, but sometimes the key players cannot always do what you need the key players to do. So like, who else do we have and what else can we do, and what is
LeBron also has $1 billion lifetime Nike deal. So
what is that? What the fuck does a Nike fucking $1 billion deal have to do with us?
He doesn't need an NBA contract.
It's not about being an NBA contract. It's just about the point of showing like,
if that was his only stream of revenue, I guarantee you he would want more money.
I think the same thing. I think Steph Curry does the same thing. He don't take certain pay. I think Mahone does the same thing. He don't take all that he could get. There's certain people that do certain things like that.
That's not true. NFL Steph Curry and Patrick Mahomes took their max deals originally, and then after a couple of years, they restructured their contract so they can get other players.
Yes, but if you understand the restructuring of the contract, is
but they took their money.
Yeah, because they also understood. Like, you wanted it and then you had it and you realized like, oh, I can't have anybody else because they want me.
Facts.
Right. Yeah. So the same way you talk about restructuring, I just went to an end deal of LeBron doing that. Do you think LeBron has always been that person who says, give me a pay cut so somebody else could be
no, he took his money.
Okay, so then everybody took their money at some point in time. So you breaking this down to me like, okay, I get that. I get it, but it's the point like you do get at some point in time, like they're not always gonna do that. So then when they don't, what do they bring to the table? What do your rest of the team? So when you talk about Cooper and the play was made for him, it's not about who the play was made for. It's about when we start going on this court, wherever we can get this ball in for the players that know they could make twos or threes.
Yeah, I disagree.
Do it.
I disagree.
Hey,
I think
to each
Cooper
his
taking that
own.
last shot, just like for Florida, if we had one last shot, I don't give a fuck who opened. Give that ball to Walter Clayton.
Oh
He
fuck no.
needs to take that
Give
shot.
it to Haas.
Fuck no. Oh my God, hell no. I would have gave it to Will Richards before us.
I give it to him too, but the way that no, the way he
No,
was playing,
Walter Clayton need to take that last shot. I don't give a fuck what happened. We gonna ride and die with our guy.
yeah, ride and dies and like you died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a ride or die.
You ride and die with that guy. Shit. I remember even when the Cavaliers was playing the Golden State Warriors in Game 7, they gave that ball to Kyrie and said, "Nigga, go." He wasn't looking for nobody open. It was go the ball. You score. You know, like that's not. But that's the difference between football and basketball. Like in football, yeah, if I'm double covered, like why would you throw me the fucking ball? But like in basketball, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Nigga, figure it out. Score that shit. Score.
Okay, so you know, this is where we just have different perspectives because I'm just like the person who I I'm more big on like who can do it. It doesn't have to be me. Like let's get it done. I want to reach a finish line. I don't care how we
Yeah,
reach
but
there,
that's
but
the
I want to get to the
difference
finish
between
line.
like in basketball, like there is no one on your team who can score like Steph Curry. Like there's no one. There's no one
Yeah,
else.
but then I could also point certain things out. Like for Houston, whatever that guy with the fair skin guy with the dreads that was all laid back.
Mm-hmm.
He can't shoot for shit when it comes to a free throw. Like when he go to the line, I'm excited as
He's
fuck.
actually a like 90% free throw shooter.
Well, he should change that. They should change that shit because he didn't make none of his free
No, the
throws.
pressure scares people. I don't know if you've ever been in that. Like you be scared to step on stage with a mic. How the fuck you gonna feel in front of all these people playing? Like niggas is scared.
I mean, just because I don't like do stuff to that extent, don't mean like I haven't felt fear for myself for like doing things. But I do know like when I'm in fear, I just don't remember shit. I do. I do not remember what's
Well,
going
then
on.
he
But I
probably didn't
do.
remember that shit either. I'm letting you know, bro. You get so nervous. Like you're like, if I miss this, we lose. If I miss, we lose. If I miss, you thinking that in your head.
Okay. Well, good for him. I don't know what to say about it.
I'm just saying, you're like, oh, he couldn't make a shot, bro. You know how fucking scared
so
niggas
my
is
whole
in
my
that
whole
bitch?
point about talking about this wasn't really to even talk about him. It was just to point out like there's certain players on the team who are very good at doing free throws. You know they're not gonna
He
miss
was
no
one of the
matter
best ones on
what.
the team at free throws.
Yeah, he made none, not one.
And I just explained why.
Then you have people who are good at doing 3 points, and there are people who are good at just getting twos. You have people who are good at defending. You have people who are just good at
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to something like that, when it's just like this last play in the game, that's when you need to put in your players who, yeah, you need some defenders, obviously. But if you over here trying to shoot, then all the shooters need to be on there because whether it's a 3 point or 2 point, somebody gonna shoot and somebody gonna get it. But to you, it's like give it to the star player. Yeah, no, I don't because if I felt
Because the star player can shoot.
I totally agree with you, but a star player also like sometimes like choke up and miss.
And what you think the nigga? Once again, we're getting back to reps. What you think the nigga who not the star player, who never shoots, who don't never get this moment? What you think he gonna do?
You know what? This gonna sound real crazy, but maybe because he don't even get this opportunity,
No, you don't know
that he actually will do a little bit better, or it's a possibility. But it's a thing you don't get to have a percentage like over this man's head to say whether or not like he's gonna make it. You just don't.
Shut the fuck up, Tim. Tim McGraw.
Yeah, he do say a lot, right?
Tim McGraw, whatever. Shut the fuck up. And I know that's a joke, bro. We fuck with you too.
But yeah, I just like
no, I don't.
You don't. So when you playing on your game, you have all the percentages on top of your head and shit. Okay, in a real life, you don't. So to you, you're over here like I'm gonna take it. I'm my star player. But Walter literally missed a lot of his throws when he was trying to get threes and stuff.
He did the same thing, like literally in the first 2 games we lost. He didn't play good in the first half. Second half, bucketed their ass.
Look, Well, I didn't see no bucketing. All I seen is it don't seem like he that hot up tonight in the final game
He
of
didn't
the
score
full
any points in the first
season.
half. He scored 15 in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, but that literally was not
What?
enough. Like
It
not
wasn't enough. We
enough.
won.
Yeah, we won, but we won because of other people pulling weight
No,
too.
at the end of the game, Walter Clayton scored 15 points. No one else on the team scored.
Okay.
He did that by himself.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. All right, I'm just saying, like you. I mean, come on, man, come on. And I'm telling you for a fact, reps mean
Okay,
so
cool.
much, like so much. There's no way. Just like all right, for me doing stand up comedy,
I
them
don't
reps
need
on
more
that
reps, bro.
them reps on that
I
stage
don't need more examples
help
of what a
you.
rep is and how it helps and what you could do. And I understand what a rep is and what it do if you get more reps. I understand that shit. You giving me examples like I do not. I do.
You
We
just
just
don't
don't
agree.
agree,
Yeah, okay.
and that's cool.
That's crazy to me, man. Sure, if I was like talking to like Charles Barkley or some like NBA analyst, like someone who really knows basketball, we'd be on the same page.
Well, that's fine. Like I accept that I don't play sports, but I do understand. Like yo, you don't always have to be the number one player to like make some shit happen. That's just not how I feel about certain shit, and that's how you feel about it. Like, okay, then feel that
No, I
way.
think it's possible for somebody from the bench to do it, but the likelihood is significantly less.
Yeah, but this isn't really anything about like the likelihood of the team. It was just more about the fact like the opportunities were there, and like what did they do to try to make it happen?
No,
And their
Houston
one
definitely
shot
choked up.
was
They definitely choked up. They got they got rattled. In the last I think 5 minutes of the game, they scored only 1 point and we scored 15. You know what I'm
yep.
saying? So we definitely hit the ass with a comeback they wasn't ready for. Let's see what else we can get into.
So yeah, there's so much tariffs. Like I don't even understand this tariff war. It's like you get a tariff, you get a tariff, you get a tariff. That's really how it feels. I don't I for the life of me, I can't understand.
Well, it's kind of similar to the Cold War between the US and Russia in the 1980s. It's very similar if you do the research. It's very
Could you
similar.
tell me what's similar? Because I'll tell you what I feel that Trump is trying to do. But I'll hear what you have
Can
to
I
say
tell you
first.
what's
I just
similar?
yeah, like you talk about it's very similar
Um,
to the Cold War. So by how? How? Explain because I don't know.
well, for one thing, Russia had a 100% tariff from the U.S. and the U.S. and then also Russia had a tariff from the U.S. and then the U.S. had a tariff from Russia. So we basically wasn't trading anything. We were in competition about everything. And I feel like nowadays with the way Trump's trying to do it, I feel like he has an idea for the way he's trying to do it. But in the same way with the Cold War, it's probably not going to work out the way he wants it to. But I feel like with the way China slapped the tariff back onto us. Yeah, that tariff war is very similar to the U.S. and Russia back in the 80s.
So I still don't get it except that it's a war
It's not a
and
real war. It's
they
just
do it back and
it's a
forth.
financial war. That's what
I
the Cold
I
War was.
I do understand that. I didn't mean a
Okay.
real war.
Okay.
I just like what did they do? Like they just slap it back and that's it.
Yeah, we were
That's
just
all
in a
you.
financial war. We were
Okay.
charging things more to Russia.
So this
Matter of
is
fact, most U.S. goods were illegal in Russia. You weren't even allowed to import it. But then you know what that invertly did? It made the U.S. goods in Russia more popular. So now Russia people are paying twice the price for like Levi jeans and shit.
so
Like
this
they
is what I think is happening and I could be so wrong. So I think these tariffs that Trump is putting on is going to end up having to make, um, I, I don't know what office you call this. The people who make the financial decisions for the U.S. who who decide how much percentage on like tax, not even tax, not yet taxes, like You know, like when you buy a house, it's like 2% or 3.5% for this period of time. Do you know those taxes? Okay, so I believe what he's trying to do is cause that department to lower the general tax, which would mean that people are going to start refinancing stuff and then it'll raise itself back up. But he's causing the government itself, like not him running it, but I just forgot who it is exactly, to a department within the government to say, hey, we're gonna lower the not the spending limits, the lending limits. So now people can lend more because we need more. And certain things are gonna cause that for people to like refinance, or some people like refinance stuff. And then stuff will start working again. But it's a very much a
Why
scare
would people
tactic.
refinance stuff?
Because if you bought a house at, let's just say, 6.5%, but
Mhm.
then they drop the interest limits to 3.5%, you can refinance your house from that 6 to 3.5 instead.
Mhm.
So I think he's the interest limits. I think that's what he's, whatever department it is. I don't know exactly what it
Is
is.
that necessarily the?
But it
Is that what we
happens.
were talking about? Like I'm saying, like between the other countries, like
I'm,
what is?
what I'm saying, the tariff wars that are going on is going to cause the panic. And that panic is going to throw that department into making lower interest rates for lending.
I think only young Americans are panicking. I think people who are like in their 50s and 60s, 70s, who like lived in America all their lives and seen stuff. Like I don't think anyone's panicked that's older.
I mean,
I mean, you could look this up as a phenomenon on social media. I don't think anyone who's older
let
is.
me just ask you a question.
Mhm.
You want to talk about look it up on social media? What age
No,
bracket
I'm
is
just
on
saying
social?
if you
What age bracket? I'm asking you a
younger people.
question. Okay, so exactly how on social media do I get that age bracket you're talking about? How do I look it up?
I don't know. I'm just saying that people who are younger are panicking, but people who are older with the experience who've lived on this country and seen things from the 90s and 80s, they don't give a flying fuck.
And this is why I say that what he's doing, because this has been done before, I just don't remember the exact department, is going to cause the interest levels to drop
Okay, that could
for
be
the
true.
taxes.
That could be true, but you
The
know,
interest rates. He's going to cause the interest rates to drop.
that could be true. But I'm just saying, like, like this country has been
I
through,
see.
like, if anyone has been alive through like 2001 when the towers crashed, the fucking plane crashed to a tower, and we went to war for like 10 years. Anyone who's lived through that, you think this is really like that crazy? Like, it's not that crazy. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense.
Mm, I don't know. I can't comment on that.
I mean, really, it's not. It's
Well, I
not.
really can't comment on it because I really don't know. So really,
Okay. Well, I was here. I'm just saying that like this shit is nothing. All it is a whole bunch of talk and blah blah blah. Nigga, until some shit happened, this shit ain't nothing.
okay. So I know I had it right, but I just wasn't too sure. So it's the Federal Reserve. So what's going to happen is all these tariffs are going to make it into such a way that the Federal Reserve, because of how things are going to get set up, will lower the interest rates, and then therefore that's when the smart people are going to refinance everything, the rich people. And then us poor people, just kind of live through high stuff and get by and do all those things. And then like
Mm-hmm.
it work itself out and then go back up. But it's happened before. It's not something that didn't happen before. I just forgot where I read it.
Sure, it's happened before. History repeats itself.
Yep.
But yeah, I just don't even. I think right now, like you know, a lot of kids and shit are all fucking. Oh my god, the Trump shit. Oh.
Trump shit what? Like you need to make full sentences. Like Trump shit what?
What do you mean? Like I'm making new laws, signing executive orders, firing people,
You
tariffs,
saying
and
like what
it's
do
a
you
whole bunch
mean?
of shit. Fucking
I
Trump's
don't know.
doing.
So I just have to like
I mean,
for me to
everything.
respond. I can't see this Trump shit. Like there's so much Trump shit. The same way that you're saying
There's a
how
lot
it
of Trump shit,
right. It's
but
really hard for me to like comment on
well,
what
all
Trump
of it.
shit.
And I'm saying that like a lot of people are like, oh, there's all this Trump shit. Oh, it's really not that serious. Like it's not. I mean, just sit back and wait, bro. Like it's not that serious.
I mean, that's the way that you feel. You just had Apple flying 2 to 3 planes or 5 planes just full of Apple phones, because if that tariff war for China is supposed to actually take effect, it means
I think it
that
takes
an
effect at
iPhone,
midnight tonight.
he put a 90-day pause on it.
This nigga is really bluffing.
No, but then here's the crazy thing about it. Remember when I was pointing out to you, I said, bro, if I was rich right now, I would and I showed you the screen and I said, I would totally invest in the Dow right now just because of how low it was, but it's like 30 something thousand, right? I pointed it out to you. That shit has gone up because he just paused the tariffs, everybody for the US stock market. Now everything like looks a little bit, it's like marginalized itself and making it look normal. But in reality, like he played this game when he did it with Canada. He played it when so I already know it's gonna go down, it's gonna
Did
go
we put
up.
the tariffs on Canada or no? They paused that shit
No,
too.
there's tariffs on Canada.
Okay. Um.
Let's see
Yeah, I just
exactly.
don't believe that anything's gonna actually happen. He's one of the biggest bluffing people I've ever seen in my life. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and then you don't do it. It's kind of weird.
I mean, he did it, but the reality of the fact is, once he did it, the Chinese person, president, whatever he is, matched it. He was like, "All right, we're
Just a
gonna
little
put
bit
some too.
less, but yeah.
Okay, we're gonna plop some too."
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Well, I give you 24 hours to respond, else I'm gonna plop it 50 more." And he was like, "We're not going to, so plop it." And he did. And then China responded and do some more too. And it's just gonna be a fact. Like, are you gonna do this for people or for the people? You could afford food, and I could afford food, like
You know what
in
else
our
is crazy to
house.
me? What is the China fear? Like, why do we fear China being so powerful? Like, what's wrong with China being
So
like
wait. What?
a
Why do
world
you
power?
not fear China being so powerful? Talk to me about what you don't understand about.
China's never done anything to anybody. They quite literally, China's probably one of the only countries that have never invaded another country.
All right, so I'm gonna pause here, and this is what I see.
Yeah.
So the U.S. is great, right?
Mhm.
Except when the U.S. is great, what we decide to do, let's just say if we come in to help,
Mhm.
then the US laws take effect where we go to help, right?
No,
To a certain extent.
no, not true.
Okay, I can't have a conversation with you on that, so I'm going to switch onto a different
I mean,
perspective
it's
for it.
facts. When we went to Iraq, we
Okay.
didn't go there and say, no, you motherfuckers can't wear hijabs. You're Americans now. We didn't do that.
You see, you taking things from the extreme left to like an extreme
Well,
right.
what laws did we
Well,
imply on their country?
if their religion says that they can do this,
Okay,
you
but
can't
you
go
said
hunt
the
their religion
U.S.
down.
laws applies to this country, and that's not true.
Okay, so when I say that, okay, so for instance, the US moved into Iraq and they made deals with for the papacy and making sure certain
Yeah,
things will run certain ways so they could have access to land,
that's different. That's not a law.
yeah, but what happened was the US people got to move the way they wanted to by allowing the citizens who area they were inhabiting to move the way that they wanted to in exchange, right?
Okay.
Okay. So what's gonna happen when you have like a country like China that takes like full power like that? If they do decide to act up and say like, "Hey, we're doing such and such," or "This is how we want things to be," it's not so much of a surprise because they're communist place. So I would be hella scared to have like people who telling you can't listen to such and such news, you can't share certain things, like
Yeah, but
you
realistically, if China was that type of country, they could do that right now. Nothing's stopping them.
I know nothing is stopping them, but at the end of the day, like also you don't give that much power to a country that you can't really read what they will or will not do. Like at least if you give the US power, the US only can do so much. You give Canada power, Canada's only gonna do so much. You give Russia power, you were like, oh, why people feel scared about Russia having power?
Because they have history.
Oh, so because now this is where I'm gonna pause and see the people who made our history is dead. Now what?
What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Does that mean it's not true?
Right. So now this is where I say, like, even though China has not like invaded anybody, they have a sister.
Russia is literally invading a country right now.
I'm not talking about Russia invading a country. I just said even though China has not invaded a country, we look at it like, okay, who do they help? Who what are they willing
They
to
ain't
do?
got
How
to
do
help
they
nobody.
affect their people? Like all these types of things. So I just have like a different perspective on it for like for China. I just yeah.
That's literally you just making an assumption. That's literally you just feeling like, oh, they could or they might. But did they? No. And literally, you should be scared if Russia get out of power. They invading the country right now. Them niggas be at your door tomorrow if you get them power. They be at your front door tomorrow.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's different. I don't. It's not the same. Russia has never given any reason to make you feel like. I mean, China has never given any reason to make you feel like you should fear their country. No,
I mean, I fear them because of how they treat their own people. That's why I fear them, not because of how they what they do to other
I
people
understand,
outside.
but they have
They
never ventured
literally
outside their own borders
isolation.
to try to goddamn do make anyone else do what they do. They stay in their borders. So shit, fuck it. They want to be world power. They want to sell this to this country. They want to do this and be the most rich country in the world. Fucking let them. What's the fucking? Why are we so scared of that? I don't get it. But it also might be just be competition. But I don't get what the fear is with China. Russia completely get it. Them motherfuckers will be at your door tomorrow. You know, you know what I'm saying? UK too. Don't give them motherfuckers no power. They be at your door tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. Them British motherfuckers, boy, don't play with them. They be right here at your fucking door. You're a part of our country now. Like, yeah, they will.
I know Trinidad and Tobago was,
Yeah,
owned by.
yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The British would do that shit in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but it also was nice to us. So it's like when we asked for independence, it wasn't like let's fight for independence. It was like you want
Bro,
independence, all
every
right.
country in the world would have fought them for like no country would have been okay with them destroying Trinidad just because they wanted to keep them under Britain. No, you would have to, it would have been a world war.
Hey, I have no comment to say on what you're saying because that doesn't make any sense to me.
It does.
Okay, but it
That
doesn't make
that's
any sense
literally
to
how
me.
world wars start. You know, countries invading countries or attacking countries that they feel that other countries feel like is defenseless. That's why world wars start.
Okay, cool.
So no, I don't think any country would have been okay with them being like, what Trinidad? You don't want to stay in car Britain? We're gonna blow your shit up. Every country would have had a problem with that.
I mean, but I could be so wrong upon this, but there are a few places within the Caribbean that really hate the UK more than Trinidadians do.
Y'all
And
don't
that's,
hate the UK.
I just said, yeah, more than Trinidadians.
And I'm just like, y'all don't hate the UK.
So the reason that I say that is because like there's some statues that are left up in certain countries or islands that is of UK personnel. And like when these UK personnel visit, they be so fucking mad because they don't like them. And there's a reason for it because the things that happen on their island. But we didn't experience that shit. So like when they came to Trinidad, they had their own part and they let the country remain kind of like how it was. And then they just asked back for it. So now if you go to Trinidad, there's literally a part of it which is kind of like inhabited because this is where they used to be, and then once they moved out they kind of stayed the same. The military bases in the area, but that's about it. So no.
Yeah, UK is not a good country by any means necessary. They definitely have done atrocious things that you like crazy shit.
I mean, I'm aware of it. It wasn't really to point out like all their scenes. It's just to point out like there's certain islands that don't feel the same way that we feel. And you talked about there being a world war because they want their independence or they don't want certain things, but you know what? It don't always go the way that they want it. Like they didn't
No,
want
it
that
don't got to
shit.
do with independence. It's just basically when a country that is very powerful attacks another country that is defenseless, all the other countries in the world will be like, no, we will fight for them, and that's how world wars start. You know what I'm saying? Um, but all right. So, for example, did you know like Hong Kong and China? China's becoming a world power, one of the strongest countries in the nation. Did you know fucking Britain still owned Hong Kong until a couple years ago?
Hmm.
You know, like literally. And then the Chinese people were like, "Give us Hong Kong back," and they were like, "No." They were like, "No, we'll keep it." Like, what in the hell? Like, bro, China hates Britain. By the way, they hate the UK. That whole country hate the UK. They love. I mean, it's different with America. It's a lot of Chinese people who live in America. But you talking about? Oh my God, they hate that motherfucker so bad. You know, but it's only because when all those other countries were down and weak, and they didn't have the what's the word I'm looking for? The technological superiority that the UK had at the time, like such as firearms and boats and shit.
Hmm.
I mean, they was just, this is our city. This is our country now. This is ours. This is our. They had the biggest empire ever to exist. They controlled like almost 70% of the entire world.
I understand. I know that too.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
I mean, no offense. I sound really bad saying this, but I mean, if I doing it too.
Hmm?
I doing it too. If I was like that, if I had that much power, I would.
Or you could be like the Dutch. The Dutch was real smart. They didn't. Matter of fact, did you know what the oldest company in the world is? It's the Dutch Trading Company. It existed since like 1408 or some shit. You know what I'm saying? The Dutch, instead of controlling all these countries, they just worked with them and made money with them and helped them. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's just different. You know what I'm saying? Like the largest trust fund in the world is the Norway, or is it Denmark? I don't know. Norway or Denmark trust fund, and that's basically their country owns this trust fund where they invest in different stock markets around the world, and it's the largest trust fund in the entire fucking world, but it's for a country, not for a person. You know what I'm saying? Insane. But I mean, I think there's a lot of different ways you could have gained that power without necessarily saying, like, put that flag down. This is my country now. That's a little.
When when Trump just came into power, they're trying to figure out so the US is supposed to have a lot of gold,
Mhm.
and they were trying to account for it, like, okay, how much gold do we actually have, not what they say we have, but what do we have. And they realized that actually China had most of the gold and most of the natural like resources that they can get and then cater to it. They've been just hogging it and storing it and keeping it and keeping it. So the US then try to take the gold back from where it's being stored and try to like house it in the US, house it home versus housing in other areas. And it's just kind of like cool, to just hear things that you just don't know that exist. You just don't know.
Like gold or them trying to stockpile it.
Both like China stockpiled it without us even realizing it was stockpiling it, and then other natural gems or other like important things that they were
Well, yeah,
stockpiling
China
it.
was buying it from other countries,
Yeah, and
but
then we
that's
didn't know
them.
that
But
they
you know what they're
have
preparing for when if a country's starting to stockpile on gold, you know what they're preparing for, right?
no war.
No, they're preparing for money to be worthless, like a dollar, like a
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. My bad, I was dumb.
yeah, like.
Moment of silence.
No, I'm just saying, like they're preparing for the day that okay, U.S. currency, China currency, don't none of that currency matter.
And then there's a percentage of it that we don't even know that they have because it's not disclosed to
And
the
I
public.
fucking bet my left testicle is a percentage of the U.S. they don't know. This is
Okay.
probably a percentage you don't know. There's a lot of shit. Man, you think we finna tell everybody everything? Hell no. Hell no. So it's 10:30. What you want to do?
We can end it.
All right. So, thank you everybody who's joined in and tuned into the podcast tonight. Um, I think we're gonna go ahead and end it at 10:30. We still got what, like 4 or 5 people here live watching right now. We appreciate all you guys. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. This is the OD podcast. I'm Wavy,
I'm Max.
and we're out for the night. Goodbye. Salute. Have a good night, guys. All right. We'll see you next time.